Here we go again. Welcome back to another deck profile. As you already saw by the title, why you clicked the video. Today we are doing Cyber Dragoon without machine duplication. This is the list that we played in our local on the 16th of December in Nerd Night Gaming. There's a link in the description below. We run free tournaments weekly on yugioh Pro, and we try to put up prizes. The more you win, the better prizes you get, things like that. So come check it out, test your decks. It doesn't need to be Cyber Dragon. We actually, in this tournament, went 3-1. Our only brick hand was actually game 3 of our loss, but he opened really awkwardly too. But he also played super smart, and by that I mean he was playing Zodiac Dogmatica, but he was just like playing his cards around like Cyber Dragon. Like he refused to go into Zeus after game 1, things like that, like cards that we out easier. He played really smart, so hats off to him. He definitely earned that win, and I actually believe he's in this group, so he might even see the video. But definitely very well played game. He did fantastic despite his poor hand game 3 as well. But yeah, other than that, round 1 technically was a bye, so we just went, oh, not a bye, but a no-show, so we went and just played a random match, which happened to be an Unchained deck with like a million kaijus. It was really kind of awkward, but we did come out 2-0 there, so we're going to say that was our round 1. Round 2, I wish I had my notes right here in front of me. Round 2 was the we played a Drytron deck. Basically they go into Vanity Ruler, and they have like the different fairies that they can discard to negate other effects, and he could also make Dragoon. We won 2-1. Then we lost 1-2 to the Zodiac Dogmatica player, who went on to, well, play at table 1, if you will, in the final round. And our final round, we played Invoked Dogmatica Zombies. This deck was, it was actually like when I knew I was 2-1 and seeing the other 2-1s, he was the one I least wanted to play. And we got paired with him, but we took the win 2-0, so that worked out really nice. Some good top decks. We had Makaba on the field, and we drew into double evenly matched like 2 turns in a row and shut down his traps that he was trying to get going with, being Ice Dragon's Prison and the Shadal Schism. So that was really nice there. We had some pretty good top decks, and the deck just performed really good overall. Not too much I would change. Let's get on into that deck list. One Cyber Dragon, like I said, it's the no dupe build, so we're playing one Cyber Dragon. Why do, like, because some of you haven't seen this before, others I feel like have it misconstrued. Why one Cyber Dragon, no machine dupe? To me, it's machine dupe is really helpful in a format where a bunch of our opposing decks are going to play 10 plus hand traps, because it can bait a hand trap, it can push through hand traps, things like that. It does have a slight brick factor, but it's not so much turn 1 bricking, it's bricking into the game. Ideally, you don't get to that point, you close the game out sooner, but that just doesn't always happen. But in a format like this, where like virtual worlds don't really play hand traps, Drytrons play like 3 or 0. Like, I mean, dinosaurs, other deck, like they try to go second anyway. And even like them other decks like that Zodiac variants, a lot of them like play 9 hand traps right now, and that's it. So yeah, that's it. But so yeah, I think it's an okay format to run with the no dupe build. In this case, it's kind of just dependent on the format. Like, it's not no dupe will always be better. It depends on the format. And right now I'm kind of up in the air. I want to test the dupe build a little more. We showed you guys some replays of this one. Let us know what you thought of them down in the description below. But yeah, deck list. So the one Cyber Dragon, 3 Cyber Dragon Core, 3 Cyber Dragon Hers, 2 Naxter, 3 Galaxy Soldier, all really standard for the no dupe build. Nothing too fancy or out of the ordinary. 3 Kaijus where it starts to get interesting. So I didn't want to have to search my Kaiju unless I needed to. And because of that, we played 3. We out it very easily. We have 2 Fortresses. We have Anima. We have Infinity. Like, we out the Kaiju really easily. So playing it at 3, I actually really liked it. And I'm probably going to do that in some other builds too. 1 Pankratops, 3 Artifact Lancia. If any of you guys actually listened to my post in the Facebook group and went and checked out our friend Alejandro's YouTube channel, Exodia Man, I should call him, because that is his persona on YouTube. He does really good deck profiles, gives his thoughts on them. People submit them, you know, whether you want a small locals, whether you just played for fun. I believe like he actually recorded one of our final matches, and we're working with him really good in our Nerd Night gaming group to get deck profiles and like final match replays, things like that. So go check out his channel, guys. It's link in the description below. He brings a real fun, fresh attitude to the game that I definitely was missing. So I do enjoy watching his videos because you can tell he likes the game, and that's always one of the most important things. So check that out. This list was sneak peeked on his channel, so some of you guys already saw it. Today we're talking about the why behind the cards. We'll try and work with him in the future on more stuff though, so stay tuned for that. The one Panker tops, if we didn't get there. Hand traps. So, I was originally going to cut hand traps down to like 6 to 9 and just play some going second cards. But I like playing the going second cards. They just felt a little lackluster because people just make things like VFD, and you can't even really play the game as much with like this build. The trap build's a little different in that regard. Check that out. We just posted the other day. But like, I don't know, it's not quite the format I hoped for. I'm really happy with the ban list because hand rips are gone, but it is still like every deck just turbos out cards that just don't really let you play the game. So that's why we did end up keeping 12 hand traps in. Artifact Lancia, I think, I can't even call it underrated. Like, people were maining it in the LCS. Lots of people are talking about maining it. With ARM matchups, it didn't really come up, but if you're planning on like playing against, you know, the top decks like dinosaurs, like virtual worlds, like even Eldritch, like you can stun them for a turn, especially like when they commit, they'll play a card, search Eldritch, send Eldritch and a card, and then pop the card on the field, and then you drop Lancia on them. Now they got all these cards started to go to the graveyard, and like, what are they going to do with it? Or then you wait till like Eldritch summons himself and they send another card to the graveyard. Now they have like 1 or 2 cards in hand. Now you drop Lancia on them, and they can't banish any of those cards to gain the pluses off of it, and you're in a really, really good situation. So Lancia is pretty good there. The 3 Nibiru, just high impact hand trap, pretty good overall. Ash is just really versatile. It'd be I don't know if I'd cut Nibiru or Ash first. Ash isn't nearly as impactful, but it's still solid versus a lot of the contending decks to slow them down at least, which a lot of the time that's what I go for with my hand traps. Obviously, if you can shut their turn down, amazing, awesome, great, Gamma. But like Ash, it slows them down, it makes their board easier to break, and that's just a good thing. Then Gamma, I've said it in pretty much all my profiles of this format, it's mandatory in my opinion, at least in Cyber Dragon. The Red Eyes and Dark Magician for Dragoon. 3 emergency, 2 repair, 1 rev system. So we went up to 2 repair plant just as that extra extender. I liked it because I was seeing my combos a lot, and additionally with 3 kaijus, it was really nice to have that extra repair plant, so I could search a kaiju like turn 1 if I needed it, but then I could still follow up and search out Galaxy Soldier afterwards. So that was also really good. 3 Cosmic Cyclones, Eldritch, we want to banish their stuff, we don't want to pop their stuff. The 1 Red Eyes Fusion and 1 Overflow. That's it for the main deck. Extra deck, we have the 1 Mega Fleet, that's all you need. 2 Fortress, we're playing 3 Kaijus, like, you're going to want 2 Fortress. Additionally, like Zeus, Megaclops, Makaba, things like that. So 2 Fortress, 1 Makaba of our own, 1 Intis with the extra Nova for our Dogmatica plays. As you saw in the replay, it did come up. From Maximus, where we ended up getting our Makaba, and then we top decked into our Evenlies, so that was pretty crazy. If you want to play in those tournaments, guys, seriously, like, come join. They're free, they're fun, it's really, really competitive. There's 11 people that were 2-2 or better. There's a 7-way tie at 2-2, and like, that's how many people were that close to getting into the top 4. Like, it's only going to get more and more competitive as it continues to grow. It's a lot of fun, guys. More people that play will have better prizing up for grabs. The 1 Dragoon, like I said, 2 Novas, 1 Infinity, 1 Omega. I might end up cutting it because it never came up. I mean, there's a few ways. You could special Cyber Dragon normal Ash. Yeah, you could do that. But otherwise, nobody negates the emergency. Once in a while, someone will throw an Ash at it, and then you can use the Gamma to negate the Ash, and then, go into a Omega. But it's more or less like into the game, not turn 1, when core's in your graveyard and you banish core to summon from your deck, and that's when they negate it, and that's when Gamma's the best in that regard. So moving forward, we have the one Almirage, obviously, one Anima. I really like it personally, especially with Kaijus. The one Link Spider, because it makes Nibiru on Nova give us a Dragoon, and we burn for 3k. One Verde, and then had an open spot, and we ended up going with Phoenix because there wasn't too many situations where I wanted Seeger anyway, so we went with a card that can pop a problematic back row card, and definitely did not regret it. Didn't actually go into it, but I almost did a couple times. Side deck, we have 3 Drone Lockbird, really good against Drytron, decent against Dinos. Like it's got good utility. XYZ Encore card's crazy. Yeah, best card when against Virtual World, going second. Harpy's Feather Duster, 3 evenly matched for all the Eldritches, and then going first. A lot of people like make you go first with Cyber Dragon and what have you, so we played the 3 different dimension grounds, and we had 2 more spots, so we did go with 2-dimensional barrier. I like these cards over cards like Mind Drain. We had a little discussion in the Cyber Dragon group on why, so I just want to explain to everyone here, like, Mind Drain does last more than 1 turn, so that is obviously really good. It's it's strong, it's a good argument for it, but the DDG and D barrier, like, you activate them, they resolve, that's it, they apply, they're active, they're applying, they don't really affect us for the most part. And additionally, like, what's your opponent gonna do then? They already resolved, like, they're under the effects. Mind Drain any form of back row removal, and now they're not under it anymore. If they can still survive through it and kind of mess up with your board, and you go to do your plays next turn, well, guess what? You can't use your Nexter, you can't use your Galaxy Soldier, you can't use potential hand traps to stop your opponent. Like, you just handicapped yourself as well as your opponent. So it's going to be who can get around the restriction first. Hopefully you set up a good enough board, but I mean, like I said, a back row removal card and boom, you're vulnerable. So I like these cards that once they resolve, they're applying, because you get your first turn and then basically skip their turn, your next turn. You should either win or be in a position that it doesn't matter, you're going to win your following turn. But yeah, so here's our Cyber Dragon with no machine dupe, yes, Dragoon, for the going into January. This is, I guess, still December 2020 format. Let's finish out the year strong. We'll have our machine dupe version also coming very soon, and we actually are going to do a machine dupe build with no Dragoon in it. So we've been testing that a lot and actually liking it. So we'll have that for you guys as well. As always, take care and see you next time.